Okay, so this is the Quantum 2.0, tiny little turning circle. This has got a slight tilt on it. You can either have ones with these buttons, which allow you to sort of automatically do certain functions, or you can control it from the main central control panel. These buttons mean that you can do certain things independently of driving. So for example, this is tilting whilst I'm driving. Oops. Or for example, you know, because the thing that you couldn't do in the old days, you couldn't really sort of, you had to stop and then recline. So I don't know, say if I'm driving and I decide I need a little bit more recline, I can drive and use my recline at the same time. Most of that's pretty useless. I think the one that is the most helpful is that you can go up in the air and also be moving at the same time. So I just want to show, like, if you want to get into really small spaces to do a bit of housework or whatever, it's got a very small turning circle actually. So probably the most useful one for me around the house is the ability to go up at the same time as driving. So I'm just going to come out of the tilt a bit, and so I'm going to press up. So the chair's beginning to go up. But as you follow me to the kitchen, you'll see I have a kitchen that's moderately adapted, and it's all high. So I can be going up as I'm going towards things, which allows me to sort of like make decisions about what I want to do. So as I'm turning around here, for example, I know that I'm just about to reach into my cupboard. So what I might do here is I might take myself to a high level before I actually reach my cupboard, and then I'm at the level where I want to be. Just as equally, I know that I'm about to go over to the other side and do a bit of cleaning. So I start to put my chair down as I'm coming in this direction.
Ooh.
I'm banging into my daughter's mobility chair there. Yeah, I mean, I think you got the idea. And the main thing is you can see that it can get through pretty small, like, circles and turning circles, and it's just very miniature. So I think this feature of being able to go up or relax or whatever while still in motion is very good. I mean, if you want to do recline while still in motion, you have to be pressing both, but you kind of get used to that. I think the fact with going up in the air, you can be going up at the same time as moving. And as you probably already know, you can move in the elevated position in this chair at about 4 miles an hour, I think it is. So we're going to go out now and have a look at what this chair, I'm going to put my coat on. And here's another thing. So I can just grab my coat from the wall. So I'm going to put my coat on, and I'm going to go out with my son, and we're going to have a look at how this chair does when you try to take it out, because it's obviously a really good chair indoors because of the tight turning circle, but it's also a really good chair outdoors. And previous to this, I used to think like the best mid-wheel drive in the whole world, you know, tank type mid-wheel drive, was the TDX. But after having one of these, I would never go back to a TDX because the smoothness of the suspension on this particular one is just out of this world. So I'm going to demonstrate that when we go out. Cool.
Okay.
Hi, so this is the Quantum 2.0 in this area, which is like my local nature reserve. So look at the top floor. So we're going to go on a gravel path, and I'm going to go over this route because I thought this was a really good example. I'm just going to go over this route here in the middle of the floor, and you can just see it takes me over really gently. The suspension second to none. So now I'm going to be quiet, and I'm just going to get my son to film me as I go along, and you can get an idea of like the suspension and how it works on fairly gravelly, rough sort of paths. Okay.
Okay.
Pause here. If I was to stop and go through here, for example, which isn't a path at all, and John stays where he is, you'll get an idea of how my body moves. Okay, hold on.
Hey.
So that's, so the floor's completely unstable, and I'm really, really sensitive to being knocked about. As you can see, I'm not being knocked about at all. It's actually one of the best chairs like ever for suspension, tight turning circle, ability to go over, fairly rough terrain without it being like, it's not an off-road chair, but at the same time, it does really well in a very wide variety of terrains. I hope those two videos are helpful. I just want to film going through my favourite wood. I often film here, and I wanted to show like the kind of terrain. John can maybe film like the surrounding area, and you can just see the effect that again it has on me in the chair, or not, as the case may be. Stop.